God is hate and fear. Use them to gut your false self. Since the truth is only lies, slip inside this house as you pass by. I noticed the contradiction looming as a child. In Sunday school, a jealous God that demanded blood. An endless war was in the New Testament called a loving parent. And they'd always say, God is love. That song is called Slip Inside This House from the album Easter Everywhere by the 13th Floor Elevators. Felt like singing it today for some reason. So, how can this God that makes Israel and Pete Hegseth demand blowing up Iran be a God of love? Well, the obvious fact is the Bible God, Yahweh, or the demiurge, is a powerful, bloody, false self who created the loose farm and human slave matrix, coercion that most of us still exist in, and made of the fake wisdom of the fearful. The end of wisdom, really, is the fear of God. Because how can you be wise if you're stuck in a state of control by fear? The end of hell is awareness with action to destroy the power of sin's God within, not to harm others, to hate and destroy, hate, destruction, and fear where they originate in you, in this flesh suit. Ideally, if you have the strength and courage and discipline, use these imposed emotions to gut and remove your false self. And there's no more war if you have the extreme courage to do so. What good is it to hate and fear others? This imposter Yaldabaoth has infected all of us with his flyer mind. Let me know if you find somebody who doesn't have this, a true enlightened master, a real Bodhisattva or Babaji character. Jordan Maxwell claimed that Moses worshipped a moon god that was called sin. Jews worship in what is called a synagogue. And I heard many years ago that the Catholics took the word sin from archery and it meant to miss the mark. Well, it does miss the mark, but maybe Jordan Maxwell's research goes further back and explains it better. I realize it is very difficult to do what I'm saying here. For me, since my essence has been memory wiped and recycled back here into plain net of the suffering human slaves, so many deaths. Long ago, I stopped hating others, recognizing that is fake and just causing more suffering and more loose extraction. It's my addictions that are the string to hell. Like the symbol for the zodiac sign Pisces, I have a Pisces moon and rising in my natal chart. It depicts two fishes, one that's strung to the heavens and one strung to the earth, or fleshly desires or addictions. Quitting daily cannabis was a hugely freeing occasion for me, but it can be scary to face the truth without the rosy glasses of ganja, without that plant medicine relief of not having to feel that actuality of the falseness of this reality that most people accept. And face the fact that this is a huge reason why cannabis is here and growing in legality and popularity, because it, gives you a way out of having to face the truth of your feelings. The government would rather you be stoned than face the truth about their violence and emotionality and all the evil things they're doing to just about everyone. The narcissist who devolves from simple self-possession or survival beast mode to obsessive control to being a living narcissist predator entity has become God. Not just in their mind, but a living, or should I say, living dead embodiment of Lucifer 4, full of hate, resentment, jealousy, envy, spite, control freakiness, and wrath, manipulation, and lies. In short, what psychologists call the false self is God, the usurper, vampire, alien who created the blood-soaked, supplicating Abrahamic faiths to steal everyone in their energy, not just through war, but through all the dogma, all the energy they get from supplicating, from people going to church and giving all their energy to these gods who created the slave matrix as well. Seeing this, eventually you learn it is imbecilic and psychologically 2 years old, like the demiurge himself, to hate, fear, kill, enslave, or try to control others. It is pure weakness and inverted to a embodied essence. So, the next occasion you feel taken by hate or fear, remember this is the archons. This is the imposter. This is not you. This is the fake self of hell, trying to pull you down into a loose meal again. Unlike my detractors in the physical and online, really examine these negative thoughts like they never could, and why they'll dominate, which is plainly to keep the Hell Realm war video game going, to keep the Hell Realm loose farm functioning. These are a requirement for the devil. That's right. The fake gods need you to be afraid, to kill, to hate, and to fear. No, the golden rule, as I said in my video about the real golden rule, is far more exacting and pure in the true original operating system for flesh sacks with essences, far, far, far before the Anunnaki false self gods got here. What I do to you, I am doing to my spirit or essence, period. That's right. All of it. If I hate or fear you, it can and will crush me or some part of my essence, my flesh sac. I could get physical disease in the skin, or the diseases I already have can grow from the hate and the fear and the allowing of the archonic, filthy introjects of the false self in. If I do not face my fears and addictions and gut them, my false self can and will rule over me and use these addictions to destroy me. At least in those moments when I honor and give in to the fake and the addiction. I am not perfect. I'm not done doing the inner work. I am not totally free of this yet, I'll admit. It's a challenge. It's a challenging tall order for all of us, probably. I realize it is very difficult. And way too easy to succumb to whatever the addiction is that I haven't let go of yet. And there's a few I still probably need to get rid of. But what choice do I have in this? The choices arise in freedom. Any moment I give in to any kind of addiction, particularly the addiction to negative thoughts, there is no choice. In fear, you only have mental chains and bondage to the false self, God of hate. Fear is obviously what war, slavery, and evil are made of. Chuck Swindoll Jr.'s book was called Conditioned to Conflict because he's referring to how Christians are conditioned to be afraid and to be stuck in war. It does no good to hate anyone or anything externally. You have to hate the devil within. Use the righteous anger to gut and destroy your false self. Not in a violent way, but in the way of introspection, the inner work, the shadow work, the difficult work, to look at what you refuse to see that is destroying you. Take actions to face your fears, or they will hold you back in this fake school where you keep getting memory wiped and put back in first grade every single lifetime, so-called, which is really a death time, death moments. I still have the fear of leaving in my subconscious, like people have said to me in different chat rooms and comment sections, well, where will I go if I don't go to the tunnel and I become free as an essence? Tina, whose channel is called The Dark Matrix, says she's going to create her own realm. This is the right idea, but yeah, it's so subconscious in many of our subconscious minds. It is so ingrained. I still haven't learned how to get out of body or astral project, or what's called now more popularly known as remote viewing, or even achieve lucidity in the dream. Yet I know, like destroying my addiction to ganja, which definitely can prevent the lucidity in dreams, I must move my perception out of fear's control to get free. And that means practicing what I preach in this. The false self created this hell realm out of contraction, servitude, littleness, compliance, threats, pushing you, breaking the cosmic law of non-interference of the original operating system where we actually had free will, breaking all of the prime directive or Christ Sophia's rules to force us all into this sick matrix. And getting us now and in the afterlife to agree. They need your agreement to sign our name on the contract, to give your entire life in the mortgage. Although to even get in this flesh sack, your mother has to have contractions in the birth process, right? However, beside that, the true self is very expansive. Even in a flesh sack, you might have experienced moments of this at a festival or concert when you were dancing. The true self is very expansive, powerful, creative, and freeing in its pure state. You are not a battery for the beast, for the archon, soul-sucking, memory-wiping, human loose farm, slave matrix. But only if you're willing to do this inner work. This is the real shadow work. The inner work is difficult. I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to lie to you like Helmet Head. But in your littleness, you cannot even fathom. If you're a normie or if you're what the old Gnostics called a psychic or someone stuck in dogma or beliefs, you cannot even fathom the creative potential, artistry, joy, bliss, freedom, and purity your essence truly is. And it's real I as a true God of love, as a true divine spark. So, may you find moments of happiness on Resurrection Day, on Ascension Day, and give thanks every day to the real divinity for that moment and those occasions when you have experienced that immense, powerful creator within yourself. The real creator that is good. The real God of love.